So welcome to Pride in Progress, a podcast just especially for Pelham, a special place. And our first guest we have today is Councilwoman Rhonda Brown. So, Ms. Rhonda, I have a couple questions to ask you. Feel free to elaborate on any of those as you feel. The first one, have you always lived in Pelham?
Yeah, for the most part of my life, I've lived here. I mean, growing up, I lived in Miami as a little girl, and when I got older, I lived in a couple of other cities, but most of my life, I've been right here in Pelham.
What do you think the difference is, the biggest difference between Miami and Pelham?
Oh,
I know it's a lot of...
Well, there's a cultural difference. And as a little girl, I didn't really know a lot about the culture, but visiting, when I got a little older, yeah, there's a big difference in small town people and big city folks. So, yeah.
So if someone asks you, why do you live in Pelham, and why did you decide to run for office here?
Well, I'm happy to be in Pelham. I love Pelham. I love my people here in Pelham. And I decided to run for office because I have, I guess, a passion for helping people. And I always wanted to be a part of the city government. A lot of times we want things, but we don't really know how to go about doing them. And I started thinking about being on the council, and I think God kind of confirmed it through several people that just came to me one day and said, with the love you have for people and helping people, we think you'll do good on the city council. I was like, that might be right. So I ran and I won.
Okay. Did the person before you, did they resign, or did you run against them? And
so the person, I ran against them. Because, I ran against that person, so they didn't resign.
Oh, okay. All right. So if you could describe Pelham in one word, which word would you use and why?
Divided. Pelham is divided. And the reason why I say that is because we have District 1 and District 2. District 1, I think, is a majority of African Americans, and District 2 is more, I think it's kind of equal between whites and African Americans. But I noticed that in District 1, when we have events over there, nobody from District 2, our white brothers and sisters, do not participate in events. But in District 2, when there's an event, we all participate. And I think we need to come together as a community and support each other and, collaborate a little more than we do.
So you think it's the district lines and it's kind of divided upon or based on race? You kind of see a little bit?
Well, I think so. It's always been that way. We're trying to move away from that mindset of people and try to think of each other as one whole, because we're all Pelham, and we want to come together and understand each other a little more than we do.
Okay. So if someone came to you with a proposal to build a new piece of public infrastructure in our city, roads, bridges, etc., how would you evaluate whether that project was worth implementing or not?
Well, first of all, I would think about the need. We need so much in Pelham. Bridges we don't need. But road infrastructures, and we need improvement, revitalization on our buildings. So I think I would first start with an assessment to see, what is it Pelham really needs? What is it Pelham, what are people complaining about? And from there, I can move forward with trying to decide, what we can do in Pelham to be a Pelham better.
What do you think the biggest issue is right now?
The most complaints I have is the road conditions. So, and we're working on that. We have successfully paved some of the worst roads in Pelham, but we still have a long ways to go. So that's one of the biggest
Well,
issues.
there's 5 of them that were just recently paved, and they look amazing.
Yeah, 5 roads.
So what do you think is more important for our city right now? Building new homes, commercial spaces, or rehabilitating existing buildings and homes and storefronts?
I think rehabilitating buildings and storefronts is what we need to work on now, because it's kind of, it wouldn't be necessary to bring new buildings into town when we can't fix up the old ones. It's just like putting new wine in old wine glasses. I mean, how is that gonna taste?
Right.
So I think we first need to start with fixing up what we have and then move forward.
Do you know how we could start? Or what do you think would be the first step in that?
I think the first step is, let's think about some of the storefronts we have downtown. And if you go downtown in Pelham, you'll see that some of them are empty. Some of them are used for storage space. If the owners would be willing to let entrepreneurs use these buildings, rent them out, make them beautiful, and it'll also bring revenue into Pelham. And we can promote more about these new businesses, and it'll help Pelham out a lot. You know, if we can utilize those buildings downtown.
Okay. So, what would you say, who is your role model when it comes to politics and leadership?
Absolutely nobody.
Nobody. You don't have a role model in politics? So you're just gonna be yourself and lead how you think is the best way to lead?
I mean, there are so many politicians that I love, you know, and I have so much respect for and I can admire. But then nobody's perfect.
Right.
So, and I guess we're all unique in our own ways, because I think I'm very unique.
Right.
You know, I'm a politician. I really didn't mean to carry that title like that, but I am who I am. But at the same time, I have a huge personality.
Right. And
I want to do things the political way. I want to do things the fun way, but I want to do them the right way too.
So to go back, if you received a $1 million grant to use for the city in any way you wanted to, what would you use it for and why?
Well, that'll go back to a couple of those questions you asked before that. I would definitely, I will pave every single road in Pelham, and I will also work on historical buildings like the library and the Donnie Cochran Center. You know, I would just get those buildings in good shape, and the downtown, you know, downtown development says it all. You know, we need to fix those buildings, and you know, if the city could purchase those buildings and just fix them up and rent them out, that would be great. I just want to make Pelham beautiful, and that $1 million would really beautify Pelham.
Okay, so like a beautification project would be your first step.
Right.
Okay, and how do you deal with criticism? So if someone say, you know, goes on Facebook and push you on blast for about 45 minutes, and I don't like Rhonda Brown, I don't like how she's leading, this, that. How do you deal with that?
I love criticism because criticism makes me take inventory of myself. You know, some people, when they criticize you, they mean it in a very bad way.
Right.
They criticize you to put you down and make you feel bad, and some people do it in a very constructive way. It doesn't matter how it comes to me, it's going to always be constructive to me. Right. Because if you criticize me because you want to hurt my feelings, I'm going to take a step back and say, let me just check this out. Right. You know, I never take things too personal to a point where it makes me react in a, I guess, an ungodly way.
Right.
Right.
Okay. So, what would you tell that little girl listening or watching right now that's thinking about running for a city council seat in the future?
I would tell that little girl who's thinking about running for city council, run. Learn all you can, know as much as you can know, talk to as many people as you can, connect with anybody that you can connect with politically, and just learn all the facets of municipalities and know the codes and know the charter and just learn everything about the city and the people that's in your city, your community. And I would say run every chance you get.
Do you think that we're doing a good job at educating the kids on the local government here and how the city of Pelham runs?
I don't think we're educating them enough, because I've actually thought about we really need to get into school, get with the schools and have a time where we can go in and educate those kids about politics, because we don't know who these kids are yet. They don't even know who they are yet. But if we present them at least inspire them, put that information out there for them, who knows, who they'll turn out to be later on in life. So I think we need to do more with educating our kids.
I think one of the saddest things was that when I was working there, the kids didn't even know who their mayor was, that lived in the city.
Exactly.
But couldn't tell me who their own mayor.
That's what I'm talking about.
But they can tell me who the president is.
Yeah.
But the person that makes decisions that could affect their life the very next day.
Exactly.
They didn't know who was in charge.
Right here in their own city.
Right. And some of them probably right around the street, right across the street from the mayor.
Exactly.
Or a councilwoman or a councilman.
Right.
Don't know who's in charge.
Yeah, you'll be surprised, like, there are a lot of people, grown people, that don't know where District 1 and District 2 is.
Right.
Like, they don't know, and we gotta do more with putting this information out so that they can know exactly what's going on in their city.
Right.
I think if they know a little bit more, come to these council meetings, they will know what the government is about, what we're doing in the government, and they can have a leg to stand on.
Right. Because so many people fought for that right to vote for women and for African Americans and for women, African American women, that a lot of people fought, and for a lot of people to not use that right or to not do their research on their vote based on party is a big issue.
Absolutely, I agree with you.
So is there anything else you want the citizens of Pelham to know about you?
Y'all know me. Well, I want everyone to know that regardless of which district I'm in, I love everyone. District 1 and District 2, I'm always here to help. I'm a listening ear. If it's someone in District 1 needs help, you have representatives in District 1. And if you don't know who that is, and if you know who I am, talk to me and I'll get with your representative. I love everybody. You all know that I'm very passionate about helping people. So, I guess that's about it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming and being a guest on Pelham's Pride and Progress.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.